to our collar that we can hold in our hand here, our harness. Now if we take a look at the slide is the only piece of metal on the harness. We reduce it down to this one point where we adjust the strap material so that it fits tight to the bird. Fewer places for the bird to pay attention to, fewer metal pieces for the bird to break. We just have one, makes it a very safe situation for the bird. You'll notice that the belt slide pictured on the package and the belt slides used in the harnesses on the video are a shiny steel material. Now, we found a way to powder coat the same high quality steel black, same way that the bird cages are powder coated. This provides us with a harness that has a dark colored slide and is much less attractive to your bird to play with while he's wearing the harness. Now we need to practice working the strap material through this slide because our fingers are kind of big, slide's kind of small, and we don't want to annoy the bird when we're trying to put the harness on the bird, because if we're fumbling with the belt material on the slide and we're knocking him sideways, he doesn't know what's going on, he's getting agitated, and pretty soon he's going to give up and you'll be right behind him. So practice with this quite a bit before you try to put it onto the bird. Now once we come off of the bird, past the slide, we go out to the end of the extra strap material and we'll find that we're connected to a shock cord. And this is a 100% shock cord, and the reason we have this on here is to absorb impact when the bird gets to the end, when it is flying or if it is scared and flies. For the birds that get afraid and fly off, they will very easily gently land. For the birds that are flying on purpose with this, they can fly out to the end, and without being jerked when they get to the end, they have time to slowly reorient themselves and fly around. And what you'll find is it's actually a caveat to the design of the harness. We found out that it's very easy to teach your bird to fly to you on command, because as he gets out to the end, he's still flying and he's hanging and still moving a little bit, and he'll slowly start to pull around and come right back to you. And if you give him a command, as he's coming back, he'll see you and land right on your arm, and you can very quickly teach them to fly to you on command. Let's go on out to the end of the leash, and we find we have a loop on the end. This loop is not a handle, it is a wrist strap. This is very important to remember. The wrist strap goes over your wrist. Always, whenever you're outside with the bird, whenever you're in a situation where you do not want to lose control of the bird, you have this on your wrist. For those of you that expect that you're always going to be paying attention and you will just hold it in your hand, I can guarantee you that eventually you're going to have the up and away experience that you really do want to avoid. You'll notice that there is no longer any distractive stitching on the harness. In an effort to produce a more comfortable and less distractive harness for your pet to wear, I've developed an ultrasonic welding process to replace the old style stitching. Basically what we do is we place our strap material into these specially designed jigs, and when this horn comes down, it penetrates the middle of the material and vibrates at a rate of about 20,000 cycles per second. The high vibration creates friction, which actually welds the material together. The end result is a strongly bound strap material with no distractive stitching for your bird to play with. Now that we know how the harness works, let's go see how to put it to work. What we're going to do is go into the nursery and see how to mentally and physically introduce the harness to young birds, which, by the way, is the same way we introduce it to old birds. It's just that it's easier with young birds because young babies and young birds, adolescents, they're always looking for something to get into. So introducing them to the harness is, in a lot of cases, fascinating to them. Adults are often fixed in the behaviors and are resistant to change, and will take a little bit longer. But the process is exactly the same. You just have to proceed a little bit slower with adults that are not ready for new experiences. And we will show you how to do that so that you can make it an easy experience for your older birds.